Hey everybody, it's David Herrera here from the Tips team, and I'm here to talk to you about Canvas's latest feature called Whiteboards. So you may be familiar with some of Canvas's other tools for graphic design, for creating documents, for creating presentations. This newest feature called Whiteboard allows me to ink all over an endless canvas, add elements, collaborate. So let's take a quick look at it. If we click on the green button here that says whiteboard, it's going to create a brand new whiteboard. I've already created one that I'd like to show you, and it's just a very simple one with some numbers and some math operations. So let's say I'm working with my students and we're learning about addition. So I've just pulled in these numbers from the elements menu on the left side of Canva. If you go in here and you type in numbers, you'll get any style of numbers you want to use in your lesson. You'll notice that these are also animated, so you can have animated elements inside of Canva, which is pretty cool. Now, just like in Smart Notebook, if you're used to that, I can just click and drag if I'm using an interactive display like an Epson or a Smart TV. I can also just tap and drag. And so here I could work with this right in front of my class or ask my students to come up to the screen and move things around on their own. Now, because Canva Whiteboard is a very large space that I can work with, I can zoom out, zoom in, maybe move on to a new lesson. And let's say now we are talking about food webs. And so I'm going to type in here in the elements menu, animals. If I click on see all, I'm able to see all of the different things that pop up when I search animals. So let's say we are talking about, as I mentioned, food webs. I can go back and drag in some animals, maybe look up some arrows to be able to show how the food web is working, and just keep on adding different elements in here. As I'm working through this, if I wanted to invite somebody to collaborate on this whiteboard, maybe I want my students to join in through their Chromebooks. I can click the plus button and add students through there. If you're interested in assigning whiteboards to your students, you can also go through Canva Classroom where you add students to Canva. Please keep in mind that as a third-party tool, Canva is approved, but we do recommend that you notify parents before you use this with your students. Now, onto one of Whiteboard's most important features, which is inking. So if we are used to using pens in an interactive whiteboard, if you're using this in your Smart TV or your Epson display, it's going to work very similarly. I can pick different writing tools from the left side. Once I click on draw, I can change the thickness of these. It's called weight in Whiteboard, but I can just change this on the fly as I'm working on it. There's different pens, like I mentioned, they look slightly different. There's a highlighter tool and an eraser tool that allows me to just get rid of the entire stroke. If I go back to the selection tool, I can also drag the inking that I just created, and I can make it bigger, I can make it smaller, I can even rotate it if I want to, which is a pretty neat feature to be able to just move things around if I no longer need them, but I don't want to get rid of them. So that is pretty much whiteboarding for Canva. There's lots of other options that I encourage you to check out on your own. The menus on the left side here allow you to add different backgrounds, different logos, different images, even AI generated images if that's something you're interested in adding to your whiteboards. Now, just going back really quickly to the homepage for Canva, Canva has also added teacher created lessons for other teachers to be able to use. Just like with any resource, though, created by a third-party tool, please make sure that you evaluate it for its accuracy and whether this fits the needs of your classroom. If you go over to the Templates tab on the left side, you'll see that we are getting Browse Lessons at the top. These are a bunch of Canva-created lessons that I could use or even just import and edit to fit my needs. Let's take a look at the solar system one, and I'm interested in checking out the whiteboard that comes with this. So Canva lessons have different resources, including posters. Sometimes there's presentations. I want to work with the whiteboard, and perhaps this is something that I want to assign to my students. So you'll see that they've auto-generated different activities. So for example, here they're asking me to calculate the diameter of different planets. And in here, they're asking me to build a scale model of Planet. So if you're working with your students in their Chromebooks to be able to add things onto this whiteboard, again, you can just look up whatever element we want to add, click and drag, and then students can easily work within Whiteboard. So that's pretty much it for whiteboarding with Canva. Please check back as we are posting videos about Canva throughout this month. And again, if you are interested in any other topics about EdTech, we post weekly in our YouTube channel in our other months regarding AI tools, Google Workspace. And if you have any questions or you would like some professional development at your school, feel free to reach out to your TIPS member and we would be happy to support you. Have an awesome week.